Thank you very much for hanging out, guys. Let's go. It is time for iCast, your freaking awesome replays. We're back after a week break, and it's good to be casting some games. Of course, this is the Observation Balloons Icyfar challenge, where players had to bring along as many Overlords buildings, or floating buildings, or whatever, so that the aristocracy and the upper class generals can watch the battle. Watch their soldiers, you know, fight and die for them while they sip some tea and, you know, talk about the latest fashions and that sort of shit and who's going to be giving up, you know, one field to another. You know, it's basically gentlemen's croquet. It's their sport. Watch the poor people die for them. It's all good fun. So players had to kind of indulge that a little bit, guys. We wanted them to get the live experience watching the poor people die for them. Let's see how it went. Down here in the bottom right-hand side, we have double music on, don't we? Yeah, I'm like, why does this audio just sound like a jumbled mush of filth? Fixed. There we go, guys. Two soundtracks playing at once like an absolute legend. And down here in the bottom right, representing XL, it's Lysen. Oh my god, look at that little logo they've got for their clan. It's like a king with a sword and stuff. It's got a big old white beard, some plate mail. Nice. Up here in the top left, representing Taste the Bacon, it's EMC2. We have had a lot of people from my clan featured recently. There's no favoritism there. It is, however, I think just a matter of course. We're gonna have some of the people in the clan who are spending the most time coming up with the best ideas, thinking how they can create some absolute madness in their games. And EMC2, a big part of the community, always hanging out. Should be about a Diamond Masters game, somewhere around there. Maybe Masters 3, something like that. I think it's about where EMC2 is. I normally don't tell the leagues, but we'll see exactly how this one goes. Gas on the way. Still mining there. The Zerg player. No idea what's going on the other side of the map. This one little floaty boy. It's going to be the first Overlord to have a bit of a look. The Overlord really is the perfect unit, you know? Do you guys know how many eyes they have? They have like 8 eyes. They have like 3 on each side of their head. Let me find another Overlord so I can show you guys. Look at that. 4, actually 4. 4 eyes on one side of the head, right there. There's 4 on the other side as well. So if you sit in there, I like to imagine it's kind of like sitting in an observatory. If anyone's ever been to an observatory, you get to look through the big old telescopes and stuff. That's what every Overlord's head is like. Except, rather than being kind of honed in on planetary bodies, asteroids, you know, beautiful, you know, constellations and things, it's usually on their neighbor's bedroom. Like, it's, yeah, I mean, it's the same sort of technology. Technologically speaking, Abathur has developed some of the best perving tools in the known universe, and he could be using it to, like, discover amazing things about the cosmos. Unfortunately, yeah, you know, he's not really a Neil deGrasse Tyson sort of guy, is he? He's a little bit more of a sitting in the bushes at the park, fucking trying to, you know, peek over the fence into the swimming pool or some shit like that. He's a bit of a creeper. So these Overlords will be perfect, of course, for helping the generals hop in there, have a bit of a perv on the butchery on the battlefield. Protoss, on the other hand, not as well organized for that. They've got their big old nexus, which is a great place for the commanders to hang out. I've watched Carbot, which revealed that there is, in fact, a rich zealot Protoss dude in there, just pressing the build probes button repeatedly. And, Zerg's coming in. Okay, she pulls back, just one Ling able to get on her at a time. She's got a wall off. Okay, she's trying to shade to safety. Will she get out? No, she's gonna go down. Does not shade in time, but forces the shield battery wall off. Stalker takes the place of that adept. There's a prism out here as well. A douchebag shrine on the way. I like it. Gonna make some douche templar. Always a good choice. Lysen's coming in with an Overlord here. And gonna try and scout that DT shrine, but it's gonna be pretty late. EMC2 is gonna have very fast Dark Templar warping in, like redonkulously fast. Has plenty of pylons up, lots of workers, lots of gas. And this is gonna be way faster than Lysen's used. That's a pro gamer DT warp in time. And what the hell, EMC2? This is like so common with the people who hang out in my channel way too much. They'll have like an opening, if they don't get fucked with, down to like the tiniest detail. I'm like, that's literally 2 seconds slower than stats warps in. Yeah, you were 2 workers less than stats had. Yeah, your third's gonna be slightly, you know, behind it. This is faster than most Grandmasters hit with their DT timing. And Lysen right now is like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I've never been hit by DTs off an expansion this fast in my life. What the hell, man? EMC2's just like dropping the DTs, picking them up. Lysen, quick reaction, does try to take the other third. He's equal on workers, so it's not like he's completely down and out or anything. You know, EMC2, of course, was microing pretty hard there. He's now moving out to take that third base, only guarded by a single adept as well. So definitely some opportunities to get back in this with maybe some Mass Roach or something like that. A couple of Archons just kind of joining up there. I think for now, since it is so difficult for EMC2 to actually come and build a full-on observation post above the battlefield, this is like the scouting squad, the clearance squad, right? Like, before you bring the rich people in, you want to make sure it's a battlefield which you know you're going to win on, right? So you want to make sure you go ahead and you kind of isolate part of your opponent's army, and then you turn it into the zoo, you know, into the circus. Then you bring in your observation posts, you build them up. You can't float them in like you can with Zerg or Terran. You have to actually build a goddamn fucking structure on that side of the map to watch the battle. So he's going to try to just create some threat in here, keep the Zerg in check, make sure he's really bullied Lysen into a terrible position, hopefully, and then he's going to come and add some Nexi with a later push. Maybe build some Nexi, maybe some pylons could work. You can always also siege up the prism, right? And use that to build like some gateways or some structures using the power field that prism provides. So we'll have to see. EMC2 macroing like a beast right now. His opponent's going 1-1 Roach upgrades. Carapace upgrade's actually very good versus Zealots. It's just because Banelings tend to like counter Zealots, and it's more the Archon Immortal Storm that's the problem. That's why we don't see Carapace a lot in this matchup. But if your opponent stays on Mass Zealot for a long time, Carapace upgrades do pay off. These Archons continuing to be what Zerg players refer to as douchebags, free damage, piece of shit, imbalanced, and unfair right now. So I'm sure Lysen, every time this comes in, is very happy, having to pull his drones away, lose workers, and the Archons just freely pick up and regenerate. For once, he's going to be a little bit more in position this time. The Archons, nonetheless, are like, yeah, we'll just take a few hits and leave. We'll be back later. Lysen's like, can you fuck off? But he's going to counter with Tunneling Claws. I like it. I like it. Meanwhile, hallucinated Phoenix there. EMC2, once again, just building up. He wants to make sure his generals are well supported, and he wants to give them the maximum ability to perv. So I think he's actually developed a Protoss neural link right now, guys, where every single rich person in a Nexus can go inside, like virtual control, like an observer, and then they can just perv through their eyes. So I think because he's still building observers, he's actually, this isn't even a mistake, guys. I think this is actually his plan, is to go mass observer. So he's gonna bring mass observers, yeah. So basically, maybe you get like 10 observers, and then your 10 rich people in charge sitting in the Nexus. They're there like, yeah, we want to watch some fucking slaughter, kill the Zergs, and they get to hop in there and drive their observer around the battlefield and that sort of stuff, and you know, live watch the action. You guys might think this sounds outlandish. Give it 20 years. Give it 20 years. You will be able to do this shit for entertainment. There'll be media companies where they're like, yeah, we've got like drones on the ground in like the front line of soldiers, and the military are like selling out spots so you can hop in a virtual reality seat and drive this drone around and like watch the battle and like be like, wow, I get to see what warfare is like. Like, it's gonna turn into a fucking circus. It's gonna be great. And when I say great, I mean fucking terrible and awesome. Speaking of terrible and awesome, let's go lurkers. And you know what's good against lurkers? Sometimes you can kill the Protoss detection so they can't spot the lurkers, guys. Sometimes you can kill the Protoss detection so they can't spot the lurkers. Usually it's only 1 or 2 observers. Sometimes you can kill the detection. Sometimes you can kill the detection. Sometimes you can kill, it's not gonna fucking work. That's like 12 observers. What the fuck are we looking at right now? He's actually got all the people there. They're driving their observers around. They're like, whoa, we get to watch the fight. Unfortunately, he's only got 1 Immortal versus Mass Roach. EMC2, I think he's starting to regret the decision to not build a fuck ton of Immortals here, as they'd be the goddamn hard counter to this fucking shitty 1-1 Zerg Roach army. He's somehow keeping his Archons alive with hot pickups though. Finally an Archon falls. He had like 5, what the fuck? He's got 5 Archons all on less than 30 shields. All of them were down to like somewhere between 8 and 30 shields, and yet he kills the 4th. manages to push through. He does end up losing those units, but only after actually taking out a lot of... Oh my god! Okay, a lot of the rich people did just lose their drones there. To add to the realism... Oh, no. To add to the realism, they do get an electric shock back inside the Nexus. They're going, ow, oh! You know, it adds something on the line, adds some risk, gets them all excited there. Observation balloons, apparently literally just observers with a fucking neural link into them. Why not? Okay, fair enough. They're in the Nexus in their virtual reality seats. I like it. This Zerg player is trying to make lurkers now. He's trying to rebuild his fourth. He's got an economy. It's not a great one, but he's got one. He's actually got a chance here. He's got 2/2 upgrades. And we've still got no Immortals being built by EMC2. If there's one thing Roach Lurk is amazing against, it's a Protoss that's not going to build any goddamn Immortals. And the Carapace upgrades are actually going to be really effective against the Zealots because of that as well. EMC2 here, trying to win with the least efficient army. And let's be real. This is basically gladiatorial combat. The Protoss are bored, they rule the universe pretty much. They've got lasers that can eradicate life on an entire planet. Yes, they're literally Darth Vader, just in more alien form. And yet we're like, oh, they're the good guys. They're not. They're clearly fucking not, man. Look at this. Right now, they're like, you know what? We're going to raise up a Zerg colony. We'll give it a shitty little Cerebrit called Lysen. Starts out as a little slug Cerebrit. They're like, oh, you're totally, you know, individual. You know, you've got your own creativity and you can control this planet. The Protoss are like, ha ha. We just raise it for sport. The ultimate game is to hunt the fucking Zerg. And they're trying to do it in the most show-off way. So I'm imagining the Protoss is actually controlling the army. This general's trying to get points. You know, he knows if he puts on a good show, he'll get elected to adjudicator office later on. So he's trying to stretch this out. He's like, you know, I guess I'll steadily add on some Immortals and Storm, but not too much too early. We want to drag it out. We want some good sport. You know, he's the guy who fucking, I don't know, they're hunting a pig and he like stabs it in the leg and then like lets it get away on purpose to add hype. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit, EMC2, you dirty fucking Protoss general, trying to add some hype. He pulls back, he's pretending he's afraid. He's like, oh no, do I have enough detection to see those lurkers? And then he says, yeah, I think I do. Decides to run forward a few units at a time, starting to fuck those units up. Another Zeld warp in on the left. Uh-oh, oh my God. The observer's like, oh my, look into the Zerg bodies. Oh God, he storms his own observers. EMC2, you absolute goddamn madman. Actually takes out a whole bunch of the rich people there. Is this some sort of coup? Did he put them all in those seats and then bam, they get electrocuted and they all die? And it was all part of his plan to take out all of the rich, most important people all at once so he can see his government? I don't even know. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. He just killed half of them. Only two survived. Only two survived. Back at home, they're all like, what the fuck's going on, man? Meanwhile, EMC2 springing into action. He's like, okay, let's put down this Zerg that we raised up for sport. Shit, me Zealot counterattack just did nothing. He's making a hive and a spire. Shit. He's like, I've got it. I need more political acumen. I need to put on more of a show. We need to keep double chrono boosting mass observer. And you know, I feel like at a certain point, this is gonna go the way of Minsk. You're like, I'm gonna use the Zerg to get some political power. It'll be great. We'll just use them to take out this planet and drum up some support for our rebels, our sons of Korhal. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong, you fucking arrogant Protoss piece of shit? EMC2 here is like, playing with my food. I really want to see Lysen win. I want to see this poor Zerg. You know, he was raised for sport. He's literally a fucking hound. Man, I don't know, it's like a cockfight. You know, like being one of those chickens raised to kill another chicken? That shit's brutal. Fuck you. The Zerg player here, though, he's evolving. You know what? He's trying to grow on his own. Unfortunately, oh no, just before the Great Aspire starts, his hive's gonna go down. Okay. EMC2 regains control over his little Cerebrit child. The Hydra's trying to get that prism. Oh, I love that. He's like, come here, man. Come here. Look, my Hydras aren't there. Oh, the prism's gonna get out though. Prism does manage to get out at the same time. Uh-oh. EMC2 realizing the danger that's posed here. He doesn't want to chuck a Mansk. He's not going to leave Kerrigan dead on the battlefield, though he may indeed storm all of these observers again if they don't vote for him. I'm guessing that's what happened before. They had some sort of election. None of them ended up voting for him, even though they said they would. He got angry and fucking stormed their combat observer drones, man. More Zealots get in. The Hydra's trying to pull out of there. That's a whole bunch of angry Chadlots right there. And oh my God, these Hydras. Oh, They're taking big damage. Lots of drones going down. The big army on the other side pushing in as this army pulls out of position. Lysen here, the Zerg. Oh no. Okay, now we are starting to see, guys. You can see, oh, it's all on F2. The lurkers have a control group, otherwise it's F2. So EMC2 did indeed breed this Zerg with a handicap, an inability to use control groups to split the army up. And we see that just pull them apart. You know, zealots on one side, main army on the other side. It's the traditional way. So Lysen, just like any rich person who steps into the arena for a bit of a duel, it's just like in Gladiator. He's like, I'll take you in a fair duel. I am the greatest emperor of them all. And Russell Crowe's like, okay. So then he just fucking like stabs him in the ribs and then like puts some armor on him and is like, yeah, it's a fair fight. He's like walking into the battlefield bleeding and shit with only one control group. And the Emperor's like, oh, I'm so awesome. Look, I can just run circles around him, and he looks like he's really fighting as well as he normally does. This is a normal battle. I'm awesome. I'm an aristocratic Protoss Emperor. You guys should vote for me. Look how cool I am. Look at this show I'm putting on for all these fucking observers. Wow. It's like, you're actually the ultimate piece of shit. All right? You're a scumbag, EMC2. You're fucking dirty Protoss. Look at this. He's like, huh. Look at the way the army's being controlled. Like, at any point, he can send another zealot counterattack in. If he thinks he's in trouble at any point, he's like, just send some zealots in. He can't split his army up. I hit 2 places at once, he will die. Every single time. Oh, poor Lysen here. Unfortunately, born with a handicap of no control groups. And yeah, we see how that goes with Hydras and Lurkers versus Storm Immortal. Actually, a good little spready there. Where's the rest of the Storm? The High Templar are kind of lagging behind that army. And oh no. No, get out of there, Lysen. You're meant to be running the other way. Oh god. That was like watching a hamster chase down a full-grown fucking lion right there. And he was like, the lion's running away, let's go. The hamster like runs up and just fucking bites the toe of the lion, and the lion just looks down and is like, really? Just fucking chomps him. And that there is why rich people are assholes, especially if they're the Roman emperor and they fuck with Russell Crowe, man. He looks very Spanish, by the way, Russell Crowe. He does look like a Spaniard general, you know? I look at Russell Crowe, I think, Spanish dude, for sure. GG, well played. Good one, EMC2.